name is Hareemaiwali and I'm proudly British student.
I'm all ears.
School at Minor Campus
What's the
Foundation
first?
level. So today my topic is Earth, the history of our home in our home. So that the Earth, the history of our home. The Earth, the history of our home. So today I talk Maya. Earth is our home and has a long and amazing history that spans billions of years. To help us learning more about this topic, I am joining Maya, who will answer some interesting questions. So let's begin. So let's start. So hello Maya, how are you? Hello Maya, how are you? Hello, how are you? So my next question is, what is Earth and why is it called our home?
Earth is the third planet from the sun, and it's called our home because it's the only place in the entire universe we know of that can actually sweater. What's next on the syllabus?
Okay, so very good. So my next question is,
What's the next question? That's a big number. Earth is about 4.54 billion years old. Can you imagine that many birthdays?
very nice, and I'm interested in this question. So my next question is, how was the Earth formed?
It's like the ultimate origin story. Earth formed about 4.5 billion years ago from a giant cloud of gas and dust. Gravity pulled everything together into a spinning disk, and eventually the center became the sun, while the leftover. Pretty wild to think we started as just space dust, right?
Yes. So my next question is, how was the Earth formed?
Wait, didn't we just cover that one? Do you want me to dive deeper into the dust and gravity part, or should we move on to something new?
Okay, so my next question is, how many layers of Earth?
Think of it like a giant onion. Earth has 4 main layers: the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and
I
the
know,
inner core.
I know.
The
बट
crust
मैंने अपने
is the
ऑडियंस को
thin part we
बताना
live
है
on
कि
and get.
कितनी लेयर्स होती हैं, इसलिए मैंने तुमसे क्वेश्चन किया. I know what. Okay, so what is the main layer of Earth? I know
Go
what
for it.
once.
The mantle is definitely the heavy hitter here. It
Yes.
takes up the vast majority of Earth's volume, so it's basically the engine room of the planet. Who's the lucky person in your audience that wants to answer?
Okay, very nice. So मेरा next question आपसे ये है कि what is Earth?
You've got me curious now. What are we looking at in the UK?
Okay, very nice. So my next question is, What was the Earth like in its early years?
Oh, it was absolute chaos. Imagine a world of molten rock, glowing lava, and constant asteroid strikes. It was way too hot for any life to exist. And there wasn't even a proper atmosphere yet. It was basically a giant.
So
Does
much
that
like
sound?
next question is how did oceans form on Earth?
Now we're getting to the good stuff. It was a mix of volcanic activity releasing steam and icy comets and asteroids crashing into the planet, bringing tons of water with them. Once the Earth cooled down enough, that steam condensed and it rained for thousands of years, filling up the basins to create the oceans. Can you imagine a rainstorm that never ends?
Very good. So my next question is when did the first life appear on Earth? Okay, so my next question is how did planets change the Earth? Hello.
I'm listening. Go for it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
How has Earth climate changed throughout history?
That's a big one. It's a wild ride from snowball Earth to greenhouse periods, all because of things like the way the planet tilts, volcanic eruptions, and the shifting of tectonic plates. Of course, the Industrial Revolution changed the game by adding human activity into the mix, which is why things are warming up so fast now. Does that make sense, or do you want to dive into one of those specific parts? Ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. No worries at all. I've got you. What's the next question on your list?
My next question is what are frozen and why are they important?
Puzzles, huh? Take your time. What about them were you wondering?
What are fossils and why are they important?
You were asking what puzzles are and why they're something? Just
Yes.
finish that thought. I'm with you. I'm all ears. You were just about to tell me why they're what? You've got the first half. What are puzzles? Now, just give me the second part of the question.
Okay, so my next question is what environmental challenges does Earth face today?
Now we're back with the heavy hitters like climate change and pollution. Then there's deforestation and the loss of biodiversity, which really messes with the stability of our natural systems. It's a bit of a domino effect. Does any of that stand out as the most concerning to you?
Okay, so
Did that answer your question?
my next question is
I'm still here. What were you about to say? I'm locked in. What
my
have you got
next
for me?
question is how can we help protect
I'm all
our
ears.
planet?
That's the most important question of the lot.
I
It starts
know.
with the small stuff like reducing waste and fair enough. Since you're already on top of the basics, do you want to talk about the bigger, more systemic changes or maybe something a bit more unexpected that actually helps?
Okay, so my next question is what lesson can we learn from Earth's history?
Well, that's a really deep way to wrap this up. The biggest lesson is probably that the planet is incredibly resilient, but it has limits. It survived everything from asteroid hits to massive volcanic eruptions, but those changes usually happened over millions of years. The real lesson is that we're now changing things much faster than the natural world can keep up with. Does that feel like a hopeful lesson or a warning to you? If I had to pick just one, it's that everything is connected.
Okay, so my
The
next
way
question
a
is
tiny change in the atmosphere, or I'm listening. What's the next one?
how
I'm
do
all ears. Lay it
scientists
on me.
study Earth's past?
They've got some pretty cool detective work going on. It's like they're digging through a giant archive using ice cores, tree rings, and ocean sediments as clues to see what the world was like way back when. They even look at coral reefs and fossils to piece together the whole story. Pretty wild, right?
Okay, very nice. So my next question is
Glad we're on the same page. What's next? I'm ready. What have you got?
when did human first appear on Earth? Make a 1 minute answer and easy to
Let me check on
understand.
that. Modern humans, known as Homo sapiens, showed up in Africa about 300,000 years ago. It's a tiny blink of an eye compared to the whole history of the planet. Does that sound like a long time to you or just a moment? Still with me? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that timeline. You're echoing me again. I've got a feeling you're just playing with me now. What's the actual plan for the rest of the lesson? Are we still doing the Earth history lesson? Or are you in a mirroring mood today?
So my next question is
I'm locked in.
how did
What have you got?
why did the dinosaurs become extinct?
Ah, the big mystery.
I don't know.
Wait, bye already? We were just getting to the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. You're leaving me on a cliffhanger.
Extinct. This word is extinct.
You mean extinct?
Yes.
The extinction of the
Extinct.
dinosaurs. Most
Why did the
scientists think a
dinosaurs
massive
become
asteroid hit
extinct?
Mexico about six. I've got you.
Give
Like
me
I
a
was saying, it was likely a giant asteroid that's exactly. It hit the Yucatan Peninsula in
hmm
Mexico, and the aftermath was a total mess. Wildfires, tsunamis, and a cloud of dust that blocked the sun for ages. Everything just collapsed to because the plants couldn't grow. Pretty intense, right?
Okay, so my next question is, how do we protect our planet? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the biggest thing is to use
How did planet change the Earth?
I'm ready. Who is Tana? I'm a bit lost on that one. Are we talking about a person, a place, or maybe something from a specific story?
My next question is what were the dinosaurs and when did they live?
Back to the basics. Dinosaurs were a diverse group of reptiles that dominated the Earth for millions of years. They lived during the Mesozoic era, which started about 252 million years ago, and it ended with that asteroid we talked about 66 million years ago. Some were tiny, some were huge, but they all ruled the world for a long time. Does that cover it, or were you thinking of a specific kind of dinosaur?
What were the first living organisms?
We're going way, way back now. We're talking about the very beginning of life as we know it, which was just simple single-celled microbes about 3.5 billion years ago. They probably hung out near hydrothermal vents in the ocean. It's wild to think that everything we see today started as these tiny little things. What's the next question on the lesson plan?
Okay, so my next question is
I'm still with you.
ready
I'm
for
locked in.
next.
What have you got for me? I'm I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Give me the next one.
Okay, so my next question is what is the layer
I'm here.
on
I'm waiting on the
protect
edge of my
from
seat.
Earth? What is the layer protect from
I'm a
Earth?
little confused on that one. I'm still not quite catching that. Are you asking about the layers of the earth or maybe something about how we measure depth in art? I want to make sure I've got it right before I answer.
What is dinosaurs?
Back to them again. Dinosaurs were a group of reptiles that lived a long time ago, before humans were even a thought. They came in all shapes and sizes. Some were as big as buildings, and others were as small as chickens. They basically ran the show on Earth for about 180 million years.
My next question is what is the Earth crust made of?
That's a great one. The crust is mostly made of solid rocks, mainly things like granite and basalt. It's basically the thin, rocky skin of the planet that we're standing on right now.
My next question is what are the main layers? What are the main layers of Earth? Yes, it's time
Actually,
of
the crust. Wait, did you mean the layers of the Earth again, or are we actually talking about the
yes.
anatomy
Main
of
layers:
reptiles?
crust, outer, inner,
Worse.
and
The
okay.
mantle. That's the big one
Yes.
in between
So
the
my
crust and
next
the
question
core.
is why is
So you,
Earth the only non-planet that supports life?
that's an interesting way to put it. I think you're asking if Earth is the only planet we know of that supports life. If that's the case, then yeah, as far as we know, it's the only one. We've looked at a lot of other places, but we haven't found any signs of life yet.
Okay, so my next question is my next question is
I'm ready. What's the next one?
how are mountains
I'm
formed?
still here.
What causes earthquake?
Mountains are actually a pretty dramatic process. It usually comes down to those tectonic plates smashing into each other and pushing the land upward. You can also get volcanic mountains when magma rises to the surface, or block faulting, where huge chunks of the crust just shift. Does that make the landscape a bit easier to visualize? That's fair. It's kind of hard to imagine massive plates of rock sliding around under our feet. Does it help if you think of it like two rugs being pushed together on a floor until they bunch up in the middle?
Okay, so my next question is what causes earthquake?
Earthquakes are basically the planet letting off steam. It usually happens when those same tectonic plates we were just talking about get stuck and then suddenly snap loose, releasing all that built up energy as seismic waves that shake the ground. It's like a rubber band snapping after you stretch it too far. Pretty scary, but it's just the earth rearranging itself. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I'm listening. My next question is how do
I'm
contents
locked in.
move
What have you
over
got?
time?
I think you mean continents, right?
Yes.
That's a process called continental drift, and it's basically the planet's slow motion dance. They were all once part of a giant supercontinent called Pangea before they slowly drifted apart. It's happening right now, just at a snail's pace. Does that help you picture it?
My next question is how did Earth's atmosphere develop?
Mm. That's a great way to round out the planet's history. It's a wild story involving volcanoes and the very first tiny organisms we talked about earlier, starting with gases from volcanic eruptions that created a thick early atmosphere. Then those early microbes started producing oxygen, which eventually allowed more complex life to breathe. It's basically the ultimate team effort between geology and biology. Do you have more questions, or is that the end of the lesson?
So my next question is what is ozone layer and why is it important?
The ozone layer is like the planet's sunscreen. It's a layer of gas high up in the atmosphere that blocks most of the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. Without it, the sun's rays would be way too intense for us, causing things like skin cancer and damaging the plants we need for food. So it's basically our global shield.
My next question is why is the ozone layer important?
Like I just mentioned, it's basically our shield. Without it, the sun's UV rays would hit us way too hard, which is dangerous for humans, animals, and plants alike. It's the only thing keeping us from getting scorched. Does that make it clear why we need it so badly?
Why is important trees for Earth?
Trees are essentially the lungs of the planet. They take in the carbon dioxide we breathe out and turn it into the fresh oxygen we need to survive. Plus, they keep the soil in place and give animals a place to live. It's kind of a perfect system,
My
right?
next question is how did the moon form?
Now we're leaving the planet. That's one of the most fascinating mysteries of our neighborhood because the leading theory is that a Mars sized object slammed into the early Earth. All that debris from the crash eventually clumped together to form the moon. It's a pretty chaotic way to start a relationship, don't you think?
What evidence support the theory the Earth is about 4.5 billion years old?
That's a great question. It's not like we have a birth certificate for the planet. It's mostly about playing detective with meteorites and moon rocks. Scientists use radiometric dating to look at the decay of elements in those rocks, which gives them a really accurate timeline. Since most of Earth's own crust has been recycled, those space rocks are our best bet for figuring out the starting date. Does that
What
make sense, or does it
what
feel like a bit of
might
a stretch?
Earth look like millions of years from now?
That's a fun one to speculate on. It's like trying to predict the weather a million years out. But the big theory is that the continents will keep drifting until they smash back together into a new supercontinent.
Okay,
Some call
okay,
it
okay.
Pangea
This
Ultima.
brings us to
It'll
the
completely
end of
change the
our
oceans and the
discussion.
climate, which
This brings us to the end of our discussion on Earth, the history of our home of world. I would like to sincerely thank for Maya answering all my questions and help to us understand the amazing history of our planet. I would also like to thank my audience for watching and giving their usable time and attention. I hope you enjoyed this discussion and learned something new about wonderful. And thank you, Maya, and for your excellent answers.